Hi y'all, howdy. Okay, so for this video, we're going to be looking again at scanners. And we actually have a sponsorship for this video because I'm eating this chocolate and I am in fact tired. So that's going to be our sponsor for today. Now today we're going to be talking about scanners. So just to get us started, let me pull up my notes here real quick. So as always, first thing we have to do, we're going to go down here to the java.util one, and we're going to say class, enter, main, enter, just getting us started. And then let's open up a terminal at our folder over here. And let me take this down so we can see what it looks like. And we can write javac video3.java. That's gonna compile, and then we're just gonna write Java video 3. And there's nothing in here, so it's not gonna do anything yet. But alrighty, moving on. So first we're gonna just set up our scanner. And one thing I haven't been doing as much that is really best practice while coding is just to comment what you're doing. So we're just gonna do set up for our scanner. We're going to say scanner scnr equals new scanner, and then we're just going to do system.in. And I have some notes next to me, so I'm hopefully getting all of this right. And then I think for today we're going to take in some string inputs. So let's start with a string called text. And previously we've been taking in short strings like a name or an animal, for instance. But if we want to take in something that's a little bit longer, we can do next, or we've been doing next, but we can actually do next line. And you'll note it's still string over here, but instead of being broken up by spaces, this one is broken up by new lines. So you can take in like a whole paragraph or a whole sentence as input, and that's pretty useful. So another thing we're going to be talking about today, and these are just underlined yellow because we haven't used text yet, but another thing we're going to do today is look at booleans. So we're going to set up a boolean called check, and we're going to initialize it as being false, because typically what we're doing is we're looking to see if something is true. So we're going to set it to be false initially, and then if we find that thing to be true, we'll reassign our boolean to the value true. So, alrighty. Okay, and then what we're going to be doing today is we're going to be looking for a character in a string. So we're going to basically be taking a big chunk of text, and we're going to iterate through every single character and look for a specific one. So, for instance, I really think the best way to do this is to do it in a for loop. So we're going to set that up real quick. But first we have to define like what character we're actually looking for. So to set up a character, let's give it a name. Let's call it big care. And we're gonna look for B, because why not? Alrighty. So in our for loop, the first thing we're gonna do is we're gonna set our current character. So as we're iterating through each character in the string, we're gonna call current whichever one we're on right now, and that's gonna be text.charAt I. And just for a little clarification, text.charAt is basically going to look at our string text, and it's going to take whatever character is at this index. So as you guys remember, strings use 0 indexing, so that means that if we want to capture every character in the string, we're going to have to start our index at 0 and go up until the length -1. Now, because this isn't inclusive, we can put length here, and it's going to be fine. But let's actually do text.length, because that's the name of the string that we're looking at. Now to check if we if our current character is equal to what we're looking for, big char, up here, we're going to do an if statement. Now I'm not gonna do this just yet, but if we find, if we find the character capital B that we're looking for, we're gonna reassign our boolean to be true. Because remember, we initialized it to be false, and now we're gonna reassign it to be true. But the question is, how do we check? How do we like compare equality for characters? And the way we're gonna do that is we're gonna say, alrighty, y'all, sorry about that. Just had to fix a couple things in our file here real quick. So the way that we're gonna do our check is there's actually quite a lot of ways to do these checks in your if statement, but what I like to do is to use an equals equals. So instead of an equals where you're assigning a variable, like up here, an equals equals is like a comparison statement, like a less than or greater than, something like that. So we're going to take our character current and we're going to compare it to big char. And then another change I made up here was just to add these little parentheses, because that's important if we're trying to get the length. Now we can save this, compile it, and we can run it, but right now we're not printing out check, so it's not actually going to give us anything in the terminal. So what we can do is we can do sout check, and that'll just tell us whether or not our string contains capital B. So if I write hello, oh, I'm not sure if I saved. Gonna get nothing. There we go. I just hadn't recompiled. So if we do the word check, which is ironic, we're going to get false. But if we run this again and we write Big Bertha, then we're going to get true because it has a capital B in it. Now notice that if I do this and I write boy, or again, remember that we did next line, so we can actually write a whole sentence. So I could say, the boy has red hair. This is all lowercase. So if we press enter, we're actually going to get false despite the fact that there is a B in there. And that's because we're checking for a capital B, not any type of B. Now, one way to fix this is to take the text that you just read in with your scanner and reassign it to itself, but we're going to do it all to uppercase. So you can do Command S, and then we can always got to remember to recompile. And we're going to run it again. And then let's do something with all lowercase. So let's just do what we had before. The boy has red hair. Press enter. And now we get true, because what's happened is we've converted this string here to an uppercase version of itself. So now we're checking for, in a way we're checking for capital B's or lowercase b's because we've converted it to capitals and then checked for a capital B. So yeah, let me see if there's anything else I wanted to show you guys. I think it is important to note that you can put in here, again, you can do like formatted print statements. You can say, we could do a print statement right here, and maybe if check evaluates to true, or actually let's put this down here. Let's say if check, so if true, and then we're gonna add whatever our big character was. So let's save that. We're gonna compile, And then let's write boy band. And we get the text contains a B. So you can do this in print, like formatted print statements as well, and it works pretty well. But yeah, that was about what I wanted to show you guys for this. There's a lot of things you can do with scanners, and this is just another thing you guys can do. In our next video, we're actually going to be looking at images and I think some J option pane stuff. So head over and have a good day. Bye!